Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of the Triple W Pod. We are back for another episode. I'm Carita Parks here with my lovely co-hosts, Becca, Candi, and Bree. Ladies, it's another week of talking what's going on in the NBA and the Wizards.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, as always, we have to start with our song of the week and add to our Spotify playlist. If you're not following it, make sure you are following the Triple Dub playlist on Spotify. So I guess I'll kick us off. And, Candi reminded me earlier because she's going to have a similar sentiment. But we lost another legend in hip hop, Shock G. So with that being said, the song I'm adding to the playlist is I Get Around by Tupac. Shock G had a fire verse in that song. So with that, I'm going to pass it to Candi.
Yes, you're right, Carita. Another hip hop rap legend gone way too soon. I am picking this week as my song of the week, Shock G, Digital Underground, The Humpty Dance.
Yes. Legendary.
Yep.
All right, well, Becca, what do you have this week?
I don't have a tribute song, although rest in peace. Seems like every week we have a legend pass away. Hopefully, I'm hoping no one this week. I can't take any more. But I'm going to choose Stargazing by Travis Scott. No particular reason other than the fact that it's a chill song that's calming and it has a great beat. And I used to listen to it on my way to work every day, on the commute, on the metro. So it kind of makes me miss going in office. So I'm just going to stick with that one.
That's good. We need to break up the sentiment. It's a sentimental.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I broke it up. I'm sorry, guys.
No, that's good.
Yeah, and my song is Been That Way by Bryson Tiller. And I just really like the song. Like, I sing it in the shower and I just like sing it. I just love the song. And it's basically, it's been that way. And I feel like that's kind of along the lines of what like Brad and like we'll get into it later, but that they are Brad and Russ, they're great players, and now they're being able to tell everybody, look, it's been this way. Just now it's everything is falling into place. So yeah, that's my song.
All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies. And that was a really good segue into our next segment about the Wizards. So we got to get into our Wizards talk. It's that time. Becca's going to lead our discussion today. So what you got for us, Becca?
We've got a lot of good news. I know that sounds unheard of, but first I'll start off with the bad news. The bad news is the Wizards lost in overtime yesterday to the San Antonio Spurs. Was not a fun game. Well, was a fun game to watch until, in my opinion, the refs started calling some interesting or not calling some interesting plays. However, prior to that, the Wizards did win 8 games in a row, which ties the franchise record, number 1. And number 2 was the second longest winning streak in the NBA actively this season. The only team to go higher than that was the Knicks with 9 wins. I'm not sure if that has changed. However, the Wizards have been balling. They have been balling, and we have to give them credit. I mean, what's going on? What is going on? Because February, they were doing really awesome. March, they lost nearly all of their games. And then it seems like April, they're kind of meshing now. So I don't know what to think of this team.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see them finally turn the page. And like, we've been here talking about it the whole time, saying what should happen, what we expect to see, and now it's finally happening. Like Becca said, unfortunately the streak has not continued. It broken, whatever, but it was still great to see, a great ride, a great confidence booster, all of that.
Yeah, definitely. With that 8 games in a row, that was the first time since 2001. 2001. Okay. So, I mean, that's accomplishment within itself. I wanted to see them go to 9 games in a row. Really did. They almost had it. It was a hard fought game against the Spurs. I mean, it literally came down to the very end, which is stressful for me to watch, but that's how it went. But I love to see it. And I think you alluded to it earlier, Bree. The team's been telling us all season that, look, like, we're good. We are better than we're looking on the court. And now we're finally seeing it come together on the court. So it's, I hope that they can start the streak over in their next game.
Yeah, you're right, Carita. The last time they had that streak, like you said, was in 2001 when some guy named Michael Jordan was playing on the team.
Right. Some guy.
But I have to admit, you guys, and I think, Carita, you just said it, I really wanted them to go 9 games. I felt myself emotionally involved. I was like, wait a minute. I really wanted them to win that game last night, but still an impressive showing. They still balled the entire game. And as you all have already said, we're finally seeing the team gel. Mm-hmm. Is it a little late in the season? Yes, but we knew it was there. They knew it was there, and we're finally seeing it, and so it's exciting.
Speaking of, they did play their hearts out yesterday. Bradley Beal had 45 points, which brings me to my next point, that he was named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. So along with Luka. So congratulations. I think that's something that we've been expecting him to be honored with all season. So I was not shocked. I was happy that the NBA finally recognized him for all his work, and he's still battling the league leader in scoring title with Steph Curry, and he did pass him last night. So I think it's going to be, like we said last episode, a tough battle to the very end. Very entertaining nonetheless. Are you guys shocked at all that he won Eastern Conference Player of the Week? I mean, I'm not.
Absolutely not.
No. It's been that way. Like, we already knew.
It's been that way.
Yeah. And I think we talked about it last week. Like you said, with him going head to head with Steph. Yeah, Brad's been balling all season,
very consistent. And I just feel like Brad is finally getting his flowers, right? Like, he's finally getting the recognition he absolutely deserves. And I'm glad he's a Washington Wizard. Like, seriously, I'm glad he's not on the other team. So it's great.
It's just, it's very happy. I don't know what else to say. Like, when I saw that when the news broke and I got the press email, I was just like beaming, because it was like, finally. So hopefully that's the first time of many that he'll be Player of the Week. He better be all NBA. I'm not going to say it again. So with that, we have to discuss the other side of the backcourt, which is Brody, the great Russell Westbrook. After the game yesterday, he had some things to say about him being a once-in-a-lifetime special player to his critics, and I think we should discuss that. But first, let's watch the clip, and then I'll love to hear your thoughts, ladies.
The thing is that for me, I take pride, like I say, every single night, and leaving it all on the floor. I honestly believe there is no player like myself. And if people want to take it for granted, sorry for them. But I'm pretty sure if everybody could do it, they'll do it. And I honestly make sure that I impact the game in many ways every night, defending, rebounding, passing, assisting, whatever it is that my team needs for me to be able to win. And that's what I do. I really don't, honestly, Cass, I don't care what nobody thinks about it. I don't care if somebody thinks it is, whatever they want to call it, stat padding or not useful. I mean, I think it's very interesting that it's not useful now that I'm doing it. It wasn't useful when Magic and Oscar and those guys were doing it. But now that I do it and it looks easy, this shit ain't easy though. I tell you that. It ain't easy. I take a lot of pride in my preparation. I take a lot of pride in I'm taking care of my body. I take a lot of pride in competing every night. I don't take nights off. I don't cheat the game. So with that, I'm okay with the results of going out and competing. And if it's a triple-double, then shit, why not? That's my motto. Why not? Continue to keep going.
I really like Russell Westbrook because he always says what's on his mind. And I think he was absolutely spot on. He's 32 years old to have the longevity that he does and to still average a triple-double. I just think that's incredible. And I completely agree with what he said.
Yeah, I mean, I do as well. It's interesting because I sometimes hear folks talk about Russell Westbrook's triple-doubles like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like it means nothing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It means everything. He's an active contributor on every team that he is on, and he brings 110% every time he is out on that court. But it's like triple doubles is like a so what? And it's like, that is crazy for him to be able to do what he does. I'm not going to class because he already did it for us. Yeah, that's not easy. That's not easy.
Exactly. Like he said, it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it, and everyone's not doing it. I just don't think Russell Westbrook gets the credit that he deserves. This is my first time covering him, so I've had a chance to, as all of us have a more in-depth look into who he is. Yes, some days, he don't want to be bothered with the media like that. And I like the fact that he shows it, because they have to talk to the media so much. But he is a great teammate. That is consistently what has been said about him. He's a great teammate. He's a leader, and he's out there still getting triple doubles. There's so much talk about, he doesn't have a championship, but he has so many other accomplishments. Right. So let's look at that too. So yeah, I totally agree with everything that he said. He was spot on.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And even to piggyback off of what Carita said, we know when that phone comes out during the post-game conference, we know what time it is. With
that's
okay. I don't blame him. I mean, shoot, like my phone is out too. So think about it, ladies.
That phone means let's get this thing going and over with.
Right. I gotta go home and tuck my kids in or make sure my kids are asleep. Okay, like. Sure, why not? But ladies, if you think about it, a triple-double is contributing multiple areas, points, rebounds, and assists. A lot of people on Twitter were comparing Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook and how Russell Westbrook did not have the best offensive nights in terms of points last night. However, he did have 14 assists. He does everything. I mean, what more can you ask from the guy? And it's true, he does get a lot of criticism compared to Magic Johnson and Oscar Robertson. And speaking of Oscar Robertson, he is currently the triple-double king of all-time record triple-doubles. He did have something to say in a recent interview about Russell Westbrook. So, ladies, let's check that out.
It's amazing over the years how that's become such a signature for Westbrook, et cetera. But he still hasn't caught you.
Well, I think he will, and I'll be glad when he does, because I think he's a tremendous basketball player, an athlete, and I tell you, and I think it's really something that sports writers are sort of getting on and saying he didn't do this, he didn't win a championship, and the kids, all they're doing is playing MVP basketball every night.
I mean, what more, if you get the nod from the guy who holds the record and what you do every single night, I don't think Russell Westbrook needs to care what the critics, Stephen A. Smith or any of us think, quite frankly. So,
right, because he knows what it takes, and for him to really openly, and he's been that way with Russ since Russ was starting to average triple doubles, and so to have that support behind him from Oscar is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely watching history. We are all privileged to watch Russell Westbrook, as Oscar Robertson said, will eventually pass him And then Russell Westbrook, we'll see him hold that title, and to potentially see that happen while he's in a Wizards uniform is huge. And so it's like I always want to share with fellow Wizards fans. It's like don't get caught up in where he doesn't have championships. He's a major contributor, and we are watching history right now. So don't focus on what he doesn't have. Look at all the things that he does have and contributes to the team, which is important.
Mhm.
Yes.
I mean, I think what Russell Westbrook said on his interview to me was the equivalent of, I know Carita remembers that one time I told NBA TV your mama. So I'm just saying
I do.
that's what I'm just saying that's what he said, and I respect it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, he told it like it is. What I'll say is when Russell is really passionate about something, like
You know it.
he will go in on it. And last night when asked about those triple doubles, that's exactly what he did. So, I love it.
Yes, we appreciate the open and honesty.
Y'all know I love it. I'm ready to crack up. Like y'all said, as soon as he pulled the phone out, first thing he doesn't want to talk to us.
Not
last night. Not last night. He's like, look, I gotta set the record straight with y'all because this is a little too much. So that being said, I mean, ladies, we've got the Lakers tomorrow night. We've got a couple games left. So hopefully the Wizards, like Carita said, will start a new streak. And we'll see where that goes. But that being said, that is the summary of what has been going on in Wizard World. I think I should pass it off to Bree, who has what's going on in the NBA.
Yes. And so just like what Becca was saying, Wednesday night is the game got upgraded to be a ESPN game. Woo-hoo. So
big deal for us.
Yes, everybody is watching, and we will definitely be watching. And also with what's going on in the NBA, I have some good news and I have some bad news as well. And we'll start with the good news. So this Sunday, congratulations to Kevin Durant and Mike Conley, who were 2 of the 10 executive producers on the film Two Distant Strangers, which is available on Netflix. It's on my list. I haven't watched it yet, but it looks really good. And they won an Oscar this weekend. So congratulations to both of them, who are, not Wizards, but they're a part of the NBA family. And of course, Kevin Durant representing the DMV. So that's amazing. And they won for Best Short Film. And as we all know, back in 2015, I believe that was the year, Kobe Bryant, he also has won an Oscar. So it's just great to see athletes, again, showing their talents outside of what's on the court. I mean, what did you guys think about them being involved in this? I mean, I didn't even know that they were involved in this film, but that was great to see.
Yeah, I loved it.
Cool. Yeah, go ahead, Candi.
No, maybe you were about to say the same thing, Carita. I think it's awesome, right? Like it's just awesome because we see these players and they're just. I hate to say just players because it's not like a just players thing, but we see them in that capacity, right? And it's like we don't think. They can do other things, right? they can be actors in movies. They can be executive producers of movies. Whatever, they love to do whatever their hearts desire. So it's just really awesome to see them engage in other hobbies and also come out as winners. So that's awesome.
Exactly. It's really nice to see them rewarded for their hard work off the court. And like you said, Candi, these players have hobbies. I mean, one time I was on Instagram Live and Kyle Kuzma was painting and his artwork looked amazing. Like it looked like, you could sell it somewhere. I mean, these players are so talented and we don't even know it. And like Bree said, we didn't even know that they were up for a nomination for anything. So it's definitely on my Netflix watch list. And I think we'll all have to check it out and see.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same sentiment. I just love the fact that it highlights who they are off the court. And it's an Oscar. I mean, that's more than a hobby. you have to be talented to get an Oscar. So that just goes to show that not only is this a hobby, but this is a talent that they have. So I'm all for that. And I'm all for, like you all said, showing what these guys and any athlete can do off the court.
Yes. Yeah. And like what Carita said, like there's been a lot involved with making this film, but a lot of people don't realize it's really hard to win an Oscar. Like,
Yes.
Right.
there's so many people who are submitting films and who are doing a lot of amazing things. So to just even be nominated is a major accomplishment, and then to win, it's just like, yeah, that's amazing. And shout out to Joey Badass. The film is about kind of, you know, what's going on in the world right now, but in a very different way. And so I loved the creativity with it and everything. So yeah, we definitely, this gets the triple dub stamp. Everybody needs to make sure that you add that to your playlist on Netflix as well. So now we'll move on to the bad news. So our former Wizard, our buddy, our pal, John Wall, unfortunately, he is out for the rest of the season. He has been diagnosed with a grade 2 hamstring sprain. Yeah, so it puts him out for, we only have like a few games left. And so they decided to sit him for the rest of the season. And here we have Coach Silas, who is going to talk about when he first found out about this decision.
There was treatment, and they were trying to figure out, okay, well, maybe we should just do an MRI to check about this. And it ended up being grade 2 strain. So I don't know anything about grade 2 versus grade 1 or 3, but it seems like grade 2 would be, from what they say, 3 weeks, and we have 3 weeks left in the season. So yeah, it was probably more than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, so it wasn't expected to happen, but he did get injured during one of the last games that he played, and he was saying that he was a little sore. And once, like what Coach Silas said, they were testing, and that's what they came up with. But he went on to say, you know, John has accomplished a lot just coming back from being off for 2 years, as we've all seen him do. And yeah, so what did you guys think when you heard about this news?
I mean, it's unfortunate because I would have loved to see John play out the rest of the season. I'm sure he wanted to play out the rest of the season, just coming back from an injury that took him out for 2 years, just to show like, hey, like I am back. So I really, you know, feel bad for him when it comes to that news, but there's just a few games left. So there's no need to further injure himself, you know, just get ready for next season and just focus on the road ahead. But definitely would have loved to see him finish out the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I have to, I'm glad we brought this up on the pod, because I've been seeing folks saying online that John quit on his team. And I'm like, what? He's injured. He's hurt. And I'm sure him, more than anyone, would have wanted to finish this season out. It meant so much to him. We all know this, right, ladies? It meant so much to him. I mean, he's coming back from that injury. And, oh, by the way, got traded, you know, by the Wizards. And we all know that was an emotional sting for him. And now to have to end the season with an injury, that hurts. So I don't, you know, when I started seeing, you know, oh, he quit on the team, or you said, no, he's injured. He has a competitive spirit and heart, and we wish him well. As you all said, it's tough to see this happen, because I guess, you know, there's still a little bit of playing time left, but get well soon for sure.
Yeah. And that is so crazy that fans are saying that. I mean, we've covered John prior to his injury, and we know that if that man could hobble on the court and play, he would hobble on the court and play, and that he has to be taken out of the game. So obviously this was a medical decision. If you know the heart that John Wall has when it comes to basketball, he wanted to finish the season, and if he could, he would have.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Anyone, like Carita said, anyone who knows John Wall personally knows that this was not his choice. If he was, he's been in playoffs playing with broken hand. I mean, this guy is not somebody who's just going to say, you know what, I quit, guys, see you next season. No, he had to. And unfortunately, that was probably the recommendation. And given all his other injuries, he probably has learned his lesson that he does not want to risk it, especially for a few games left in the season. So just hoping next season, he can remain healthy and we'll be able to see what he can do. I know he's in great shape and he'll continue to stay that way.
Yeah. I'm just praying, that this is the last little piece, that he just has to get this worked out and get it healed and fully recover so he can fully be his full potential, because he did a lot this season, so we can only imagine what more he has to offer. And just also a side note, for him to be able to work with these younger players on the Rockets like Christian Wood, Kenyon Martin Jr., Tate, so for him to have a personal relationship with them and really help them even when he has been sitting on the sidelines, but for him to just be involved, and I'm sure he will continue to be that too even when he's out right now. So again, we're wishing the best for John, and that's what's going on in the NBA. And now I'm gonna kick it over to Candi for our Women's Spotlight.
All right. So next up in our last segment is the Women in Sports Spotlight. And given the Lakers are in town, and we are, of course, hoping for another thriller and another Wizards win, we did want to shout out Jeanie Buss. Jeanie is the CEO and controlling owner for the Lakers. She's responsible for running all aspects of the Lakers organization. In addition to her role as a CEO, she also serves as the Lakers governor, representing the team on the NBA's Board of Governors. She's also a member of the NBA Advisory and Finance Committee and serves on the NBA Labor Committee. She's just totally rocking out for certain. And she was also in the news this week because she was on the podcast All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, and she was catching a little bit of heat. Jeanie was catching a little bit of heat, y'all, with her list of the 5 most important players in Lakers history. Now, listen, that's Jeannie's list, okay? I'm not going to say whether it's right or wrong. It's hard to pick just 5. But it's hard. It's difficult. But I know there was a lot of conversation around how Phil Jackson got on there because he didn't play, but he did coach, and we all know that they were engaged. So
I was over here like Phil Jackson.
We're gonna let that one go. We're gonna let Jeanie have that one.
Listen, who are we to question Miss Jeanie Buss? Okay,
all right. Whatever you say, Jeanie. And so some folks were hoping and thinking that Jerry West should have been on there. Elgin Baylor. Hey, it's hard to keep it to 5, everybody. It's hard to keep it to 5.
Well, who asked her to keep it to 5? I mean, that's just a dumb question. That's just a dumb question anyways. To sum it up, Jeanie, you are a bad B-word. Do not listen to these people who criticize you. They're trolls on Twitter. They don't have their profile pictures, and they hate women too. So whatever, man. You're in your bag.
I just think it was nice of her to put Magic on that list the way he dipped out. So
that's
really nice.
Girl, whatever. She's cool.
Yeah, so we are featuring her. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bree.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I was just gonna say yes, all of that. Jeanie is she's one of the few women in this position too. So and she's not just kind of passing by, she's doing the work. So yeah, shout out to her. And I like her profile picture too. I like her.
Oh yeah, she's got. I hope to recreate that one day when I lose like 15 pounds.
They think she's super dope. They think she has a leadership style that is rooted in collaboration and transparency and all of those things. She does a lot of conferences as a speaker, but we wanted to highlight her this week in our Women in Sports Spotlight.
Another female boss. Absolutely. You know, that's my favorite. So, well, ladies, we had another great episode of the Triple W Pod. It was great. You know, great Wizards news. We're always in good spirits when the Wizards are doing well. So we wish them luck against the Lakers. Let's start that streak over again. You know, once again, you know where you can find us, but make sure you're following us on social media at Triple W Pod on Twitter and Instagram. So follow us, share our content, let us know what you're thinking. You know, we put it out there. It's not just for you to see, but talk to us. And with that being said, we will see you next time. And make sure you follow us too. You see our handles, so give us a follow as well. Till next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.